the Tigers. Guardians say that Fry has been discharged from the hospital and is resting comfortably at home. He will miss 6 to 8 weeks of action. Nationals top the Braves today 4-3. Nats are naming a Red Sox assistant GM, Paul Taboni, as their new general manager. Brewers and Padres scoreless now in the third in San Diego. Giants head coach Brian Daboll made the quarterback change official. Jackson Dart, the first-round pick, starts against the Chargers in Week 4. Russell Wilson will be the backup. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels practicing on a limited basis today, but no practice for Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin. Niners quarterback Brock Purdy limited in practice. San Francisco held out wide receivers Ricky Pearsall and Jawan Jennings. Eagles place linebacker Nolan Smith on IR with a triceps injury. Chargers place running back Najee Harris on injured reserve. I'm Dan Byer.
Let's go, buddies. He is I, and I is him. I'm Steve COVINO. That is Rich Davis. It's the show that's sweeping the nation.
Yeah, buddy.
And the bathroom floor is after the show, which is just part of the deal. Going to work that out of the next contract. Got Danny G super producing at 877-99 on Fox. He's got that smooth, buttery voice and a buttered biscuit he's eating on air. That's Iowa Sam, the coolest guy in town.
You're like 2 for 2 with bad jokes, huh? Sweeping bathrooms, biscuits. What else you got?
Iowa Sam, Sammy Sweetheart.
Hi. Thank you.
Hey, we got Dan Byer with your updates. He's the consummate professional. We got Spot. He's just sitting there. He's on the videos. He's on the videos. YouTube, Covino and Rich FSR, and we be rocking out. Let's go.
You better be careful. He might just put like a permanent dunce hat
Are you serious?
over you on the video.
I'm just messing,
Done a
bro.
little more in the last 5 minutes than you have.
Hey, I'm daring to be different. I'm trying to get people's attention, trying to hook them in.
Let's
just
go.
when they're ready to change the channel, they're thinking, maybe not. Because we have lots of fun to talk about today.
Yeah, buddy.
Lots of baseball, lots of football, lots of nonsense.
No diggity, no doubt. And if you're watching on the video, do you like my sweet Keith Hernandez legend shirt?
I was confused 'cause I thought it was my dad.
Just
from the 80s.
it's a shirt my buddy Andy got me. He's like, I thought of you when I saw this. It's 80s Keith Hernandez smoking in the dugout.
Very nice.
The good old days.
Yeah.
When
Is that wild to think that Keith Hernandez used to smoke in the dugout?
Yeah, when that was, I guess, I don't know if that was ever accepted, but they did it anyway. Right now, we're broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, and if you miss any of today's show or any of my bad jokes, catch the podcast. Search Covino and Rich wherever you get your podcasts, and be sure to follow, rate, and review. 5 stars only, because anything less is uncivilized. And like we said, we're streaming live, and you could chat live. Millions of people chiming in, become Fox Sports Radio famous, and say something cool at youtube.com/Covino and Rich FSR, or you could watch it later. Now, later today, not only are we going to have lots of fun, super fun time, but we got Mike's Wednesday Words of Wisdom, so we're giving away prizes. If you could repeat it verbatim. And, of course...
Did you mean to say repeat it?
He said repeat it.
No, because I was actually just looking at you and telling you to beat it.
Sounds like my weekend plan.
Third bad joke.
And we
What was
also...
that, Spot?
What? What?
Midweek Major, we do it every Wednesday. The biggest stories in sports and pop culture. Spot's actually getting ready for that. But
No, I'm just sitting here.
it's postseason, ghost season. We're heading into it. And yesterday, some crazy baseball. We're going to talk about the Yankees clinching. But we got to talk about David Fry and what happened to him, because that was scary, dude. I couldn't believe what I saw.
Well,
at first, I was like, Dan Byer, did it hit the bat? That was wild.
Well, the guy we're talking about, David Fry, is the guy that got hit in the face. I don't think the pitch, when you take a look at it, I don't think Scooble went too inside. I think Fry squares around for a bunt, hovers over the plate, and what would normally have been on a regular pitch, a sort of a brushback, when you're squaring around that much in front of the plate, you are exposing yourself. Like, you know when you teach little kids?
He exposed himself to a 99.6 mile per hour
Buddy,
fastball to the face.
When you teach little kids how to get out of the way if a ball's coming at you. You know, it's the opposite of squaring up for a bunt. You always tell them to, turn away and let it hit your side or back like like a turtle.
Well, speaking of what you teach to kids, if you're one of those kids that sucked at Little League, you may have never learned that the second you see someone square away for a bunt, you're supposed to throw high and tight.
Yeah.
And that's what Schoolboy was doing. He was doing his job. I agree with Rich. I think he squared away way too far. He leaned into that fastball.
Well, because Schoolboy, you saw his reaction. He felt terrible, and he's a good man. He, of course, feels empathy and sympathy and all those things. But David Fry was over the plate. He was. Again, I don't think this is some ridiculous high, tight, would have hit him pitch. It really wouldn't have. I think it would have been inside, ball one.
But so scary to see. Luckily, he's okay. And when I say okay, he has facial fractures. You heard Dan Byer talking about it.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of how bad it could have been, he's okay. 6 to 8 week recovery, and that's great to hear. I know Schoolboy felt terrible. His teammates felt, everybody watching, I felt terrible. But the Guardians pulled it together, and they end up winning 5-2. But let's talk about it. The times you got hit in the face, or maybe you were responsible for it, because we all have stories, and Rich and I share one together, and we'll tell you this unfortunate tale, but it's scary. Sometimes you're never the same. You could talk about Giancarlo Stanton, or you could talk about my buddy Barry. My buddy Barry Barnando. He was that kid in Little League that got hit in the face, broke his jaw, and then we had to wear those masks for the rest of our Little League career.
You had to wear like a mask in Little League?
Like a plastic guard that went over the helmet.
Oh, Barry ruined it.
Yeah, he sort of ruined that for everybody. He was that kid, and he was infamous, which is more than famous, for that one reason. But we all have those stories, and Rich and I, like I said, we share like a terrible story. But maybe you were punched, maybe you were knocked in the face. We want to hear those stories because I want to know if you saw stars. Did you see birds like the cartoons? And how scary it actually is. We can have fun a day later, but at first it was very scary.
Very scary, and even as scary as the hit in the face, because we know that he's going to recover, right, Dan Byer? Like he's going to be
6 to 8 weeks. Was discharged from the hospital. They say he's resting comfortably, but they were minimally displaced fractures. But there were multiple fractures on the left side of his face and other nasal fractures as well.
Now, I don't wish this upon him or anybody, but he has to be a little apprehensive moving forward, right? There's got to be that PTSD involved of being scared of any high and tight pitch, at least for the next few months. That's scary, man.
Listen, the bummer for him is he fractured his face and nasal bones and everything.
That's every ball player, everybody's fear.
But I'm saying what sucks for him is that the Cleveland Guardians are on a roll. They are now in first place in a tiebreaker over Detroit. The Tigers have had the most monumental collapse in Major League Baseball history. At one point this year, they had a 15.5-game lead over whoever was in second place at the time. So the Tigers' collapse has taken a backseat to this story today, because right now Cleveland rocks. Cleveland,
aside from this pitch to the face, is fun times in Cleveland again. Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, good times for Cleveland. I feel bad for David Fry. Again, I pull it back to Little League, because she said your buddy Barry got hit in the face. Every kid
broke his jaw.
It is, without a doubt, the most universally accepted. Coach Ballgame would tell you this. Every kid gets hit once in Little League, and for the next week, month, 2 months, maybe the season, are a bit nervous at the plate.
Some kids might not ever recover, and I'm wishing David Fry the best. And I don't know what it is about this particular pitch, because when I saw it, maybe it's the fact that I know he's okay now. I'm able to watch it. There's other injuries, like a broken leg or something.
Oh, we're not going to show that again.
I can't watch that. For some reason, I could watch the ball to the face, as terrible as it was, and that's just a random observation I made. I don't get that weird feeling of, I can't watch. But I have a few stories. One involves...
I would be careful, by the way, with your Google search, balls to the face.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Be careful over there.
I hope I don't get in trouble from HR. I was doing research.
But my point is, every kid has gone through this. I remember I got drilled in the helmet by a kid in Little League throwing heat, and for a good month, I was like, you get scared in the box. And my son, who plays t-ball, it's coach pitch and machine pitch. There was a good month where I had to mentally get my son back in and be like, yo, Benny boy, you're not going to get hit. He got hit in the hand, and his hand swelled up, and every pitch, he did you bail out. You step out.
You know what's unfortunate about that, Rich, is, what are you, like 60 years old now?
Get out of here.
Even at 65, you remember those kids in Little League that cried when they got hit. You still remember that.
Yeah,
it's the truth.
Maybe not that young. I remember the kids. I remember the kids that cried when they were like 12.
It just like laying in the batter's box, like
The hardball was the crazy thing for me because I took one in the stomach playing pickle. So that made me afraid. I didn't make contact my first year of Little League until the last game of the year. We're talking contact like a foul ball because I was always pulling out of the batter's box, completely
it's
scarred.
That front foot you're pulling out, and every kid, the kid gets hit or gets nervous the whole season. DB, there's kids on my team that will never make contact because they are nervous, like you said, and every at bat they pull out.
The laces on your face or on wherever you got hit. You feel that sizzle of the fastball coming in.
Yes.
That's hard to recover from. So we do wish David Fry the best, but it opens up the conversation. I'm glad he's okay. It was a horrible scene, and I did feel for everybody involved last night. And congratulations to the Guardians. But Rich and I had a listener get-together. It was at one of our conventions in New York City. We're in Central Park, New York. Beautiful day. Hundreds of listeners there. And we had a softball event. Before a big party, we just got together at Central Park. Listeners from all over the country came. We had a big softball game. It's Rich's chance to show off because he thinks he's Mike Piazza. And we had...
By the way, you see him hitting bombs at 57?
Yeah.
Mike Piazza, 57 years old.
Well, Piazza always took, like, monster hacks.
And that's sort of my swing, too.
Yeah,
I take monster hacks.
Rich swings, like, for the fence with every swing.
And for the record, he's got a good 10-plus years on me.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
But we're having a listener event, and that's important because everyone's just having fun. It's a listener event. We're in Central Park, beautiful day. And some of the women that came to support our show weren't playing. They were just sitting on the sideline. They were just hanging around. Yeah. And we had a kid at shortstop who listened to the show that was a college baseball player, like a legitimate athlete, really good, in fact. And a ground ball's hit to shortstop. This kid, Doug, scoops it up, and he rifles one to an average first base playing jabroni that was hanging out with us.
Yeah, I mean, he made a great play, throws a bullet. This guy can't scoop it at first. I watched in slow motion as this ball bounced at first base and went about 10 to 15 feet on a fly beyond that and hit one of our female listeners in the jaw.
Square in the face. So here we are at a listener event. We're like, hey, can we get sued for this? Right?
We're in Central Park.
This is horrible. We felt so terrible. The guy that threw the ball, he just threw like a 90-mile-per-hour
like errant
rocket, throw, to first base, and it hits this woman square in the face. And it took all the fun, sucked all the fun out of the day. Everyone's, concerned about the whole thing. Turns out she's okay, but
do you remember, Spot, weren't they? There was two girls that listened, and they were visiting from Salmon Arm, right? Canada?
Oh, yeah.
I remember being like, yeah, some girl from Salmon Arm got smacked in the face.
Why was she sitting
behind the first base line?
First base? I don't know.
Central
but
Park,
man, we were like, oh no, we killed our listener. We felt so terrible.
Yeah.
She went down. It was so scary. So let's share some stories. I got other stories to tell. I got a personal story. Because getting hit in the face, man, you'll never forget it. If your bell's rung like that, look, if you're a fighter, I get it. It's happened. Yeah. But if you're not, and you get your bell rung like that, it sticks with you.
Now, there's something very scary about getting hit in the face, and the idea of this dude, David Fry, having broken, some fractures in his face. Remember the story of the wrestler Brutus the Barber Beefcake?
No, but I remember the story of the hippopotamus.
Jeez. The story of Brutus Beefcake, the wrestler. And you learn this if you watch wrestling documentaries, or you remember as a kid, he was parasailing, and someone's knees slammed into his face at full speed, and his face, shattered.
He needed reconstructive surgery.
On his whole face.
Right? Yeah.
They put his face back together based on a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which is kind of remarkable because he looked relatively handsome I mean, we interviewed the guy.
Yeah.
You would have never known.
I remember you saying, beefcake for sure.
What a beefcake.
So my question is this. While the face injury is very scary because it's your freaking face, right? It's your face. It's what people look at. It's your face.
And your brain's back there, too.
And your brain's back there, Sam. It's your face. Would you rather get hit in the face? Because the moment is scary, but God willing, you're okay. Would you rather that? Would you rather, what happened to Matthew Stafford the other day? You see that he said he got his huevos crushed? His wife said that on her podcast. She goes, you see there's a clip from the Rams game, and he is down. Oh.
Would you rather get hit in the huevos or
No.
square in the face?
I think the answer is definitely the huevos. But the third.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, thank you.
So Stafford gets crushed in the nutties. The third one, I saw a dude that you and I know, one of our listeners on Long Island, he slipped dropping his kid off from school, and he broke both of his wrists. So for the next months, he can't wipe his butt. Probably he can't do it. He can't eat. He can't do it. Imagine if you break both your hands and wrists.
Man,
That might be the worst.
that guy's gonna have some lonely nights.
It's true.
So
You need your hands
yeah,
for
you do.
everything.
For everything.
So while this
Everything.
is a terrible thing, is there anything worse than getting hit in the face?
Maybe the huevos. Yeah, I don't know. It depends. I've never taken a vicious shot, but I have been punched in the face a few times. And again, like I said, you never forget it because it's like a movie. It's a pa, pa. Your head goes back. You're like, did that just happen? Because if you don't get knocked out, you're aware of what happened. It's a weird feeling.
I
right?
remember we were at a party in Manhattan at a club.
Yeah.
And I remember some dude was hitting on Covino's girlfriend. And I'm going to paint the picture accurately. Covino wasn't being some blowhard, like, what are you doing?
Not at all. It was a work event.
It was
I was
work.
working.
Yeah, it was. We were hosting a thing. And Covino said something very polite, like, hey, man, you got good taste, but she's my girl. Have a great night. Like something very polite. The guy's like, oh, yeah? And I saw this guy.
Shazam.
Bam!
My
Punch
head.
Covino in the face.
No, not once. Because you sit there in shock. Like, your hair goes back. Poof, right? Look at this guy. He hits me again. Boom. It's like when
Let's see the slow-mo replay
it's like
of that.
who's the principal in Ferris Bueller? Spot. What's his name? Principal
Ed Rooney.
Ed Rooney. Yeah. It's like when Ed Rooney gets kicked in the face. It was like that.
I was thinking, do you remember?
And you're sitting here, you're like so shocked, and you're
Do you remember the scene when they're reenacting like a dream scene in Dumb and Dumber, and Jim Carrey
Yes.
pops back up and he wipes his mouth and goes, eh?
Yeah.
And he
He
just
starts doing the speed bag on the guy's huevos.
Honestly, Sam, I'm not bragging. I'm not like this fighting kind of guy. But the fact that he didn't knock me out put me in that zone of attack mode. Like he didn't get. I'm not getting punched again, and that's what happened at that point.
And I remember in that moment, like bouncers and everyone jumped in, and people got sort of escorted out of the bar. Covino didn't get in trouble or
I
anything.
did a ground and pound
Because
after
Covino did nothing wrong.
No, not at all.
And I
People
just
saw it.
And all I remember was Covino being so mad because the girl he was dating at the time was less concerned about him getting punched. And she's like, I lost one of my shoes in the club. And she had one shoe
lost
on.
the shoe. It was a melee.
And she was, Covino's like, but I got punched in the face. She's like, but my shoe. I
Yeah.
love that shoe.
I was bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
So your stories, and
Shazam!
again, we say it respectfully because we wish David Fry all the best, but it got us
course.
thinking about
But
those scary
yeah,
moments.
getting hit in the face is one of the top, if not the top, a top level. Like, oh no.
And we get it. Some people make a living at it doing that. Nobody loves a fight more than us. But when you get punched in the face, it's a different story, especially when you're not looking for it or hit in the face. So your stories.
And speaking of getting hit in the face, I'm sure we'll mention it at some point, but they came out with the rules for that Jake Paul Tank Davis fight, and we talked about how Jake Paul twice his size, 12-ounce gloves, which isn't as puffy as we thought. So
maximum weight limit of 195 for that fight.
Geez,
So I don't know how big Tank could actually get.
So, I mean, listen, we pay pay-per-view money, and we love watching people fight, but when it's a regular guy getting hit in the face, my goodness, how scary is that? What's scarier, that or when you see a pitcher get hit with a line drive coming back? To me, that there's something real alarming about like this.
Brutal, man.
Right? It's like,
It
ooh.
is. It's brutal.
Yeah, yesterday, comebacker to Ohtani, and he was, everyone ran out, of course, worried, and that's what you worry about with Shohei is him getting hit by a batter hitting the pitch back to him, and
it was his glove hand, and he shook it off. He wound up being okay, but
There's a couple guys in my men's softball league that at first I sort of laughed at a little bit, like, why is this guy wearing a mask, right? Like a little pull-on mask.
like a Ronald Reagan mask.
4 great jokes today for you.
I'm on a roll. I'm one of the kings of comedy.
A couple of these, like a pitcher would wear a mask. I'm like, are we doing this? And I was told the story of, like, I guess like before I started playing and moved out here, there was a story where, men's slow pitch softball. There's guys that are 30,
That's
40
why
years
I don't
old
like
that
softball, dude.
swing
You're
hard, right?
Sitting duck. You're just tossing a little baby softball, meatball, for some big fat burly guy. Mark Burley's there to hit a 100-mile-per-hour rocket right back at you.
There's guys
You're defenseless.
You've seen videos on Instagram of some of these baller softball players. There was a guy that hit a ball back and knocked the dude in the head unconscious, and people are like, oh my God, is he dead?
Yeah,
he was fine.
Dude, I don't
He
like
was
that.
concussed and everything, but I saw a guy break his wrist in softball. You can't guard that, but I saw a guy throw sort of a cookie, guy rip one back. I heard his wrist. So
that high arc pitching, you can hit it on a rope.
No, yeah.
If you time it perfectly, man, you could rope it down third baseline or at the pitcher's head, unfortunately.
So, scary moment.
So hopefully David Fry will
by the way,
not be that affected. Maybe.
Side observation, though, Schoolboy had like the weirdest, weakest inning ever. It was like a bunch of just circus events. That terrible play he made between his legs, that weird play.
Everything went wrong.
Everything went wrong for him that inning. The whole thing was
You
just
could say
really
everything
weird.
goes wrong for the Tigers.
Yeah. That was a bad inning.
Oh, boy. All right, well, hey, your thoughts. We got all the phones going, so we'll take your feedback next. You ever get hit in the face? David Fry style. Luckily, he seems like he'll be all good. So
How did he recover, too?
We'll talk a little baseball and, of course, NFL. I can't believe we're getting into week 4 already. Tomorrow night, we kick off. Again, after this week, we're going to be essentially a 4th through the season, which just shows you time is flying, my friends. Last Wednesday in September. So we got more Covino and Rich. We'll take all your feedback and phone calls next. Hit in the face here on Covino and Rich.
If you're looking for a new way to hire and manage your workforce, Express Employment Professionals make it easy. Forget about posting jobs, sifting through resumes, being ghosted, interviews with unqualified applicants. Move up to the pros, expresspros.com.
Express is your full-service workforce solution, connecting you with top talent fast every
I'm a
day.
man. I'm fired.
Express recruits and screens a variety of workers in your area, so when it's time to hire, they got the talent you need ready to go to work. A contract workforce through Express could help you manage contingent labor costs and provide the people you need to meet your current demands.
And if you need full-time employees, Express can recruit for you. Express Employment Pros helps tens of thousands of companies find workers, saving business time and increasing flexibility. Find your nearest location at expresspros.com.
Each of the 870 locations locally owned and operated, backed by the support of an international headquarters. So again, we know we know hiring is stressful. Stop the hassles. Stop the hops. Partner with Express. Go to expresspros.com. Find the location near you.
Next year begins the robot era. Robot era begins.
Ooh,
Happy
that's
birthday,
a strike.
Paulie.
Strike 3.
Is
You're out.
Is it the robot from Rocky 4? Happy birthday, Paulie.
No, man. It's awesome. MLB is going to implement the automated ball strike challenge system in 2026 after the league's competition committee approved robot umpiring.
Well, let me tell
Human
you.
umpires obviously will
course.
call every pitch, so you're still going to have a human element, so don't be crying about
But
it.
I think
They're not taking our jobs.
But I think there's some idiots that just read a headline, because I've already seen people saying, like, man, no more umps. It's like, no, buffoons, umps.
Teams can appeal 2 calls per game to ABS.
They didn't take our advice, Rich.
I said
strike three.
make it a third, right? If you
you get the first two right, they should have give you a third.
But you know what, Danny G? We saw it executed in the Major League Baseball All-Star Game this year.
Yeah, it worked.
Edwin Diaz was on the hill for the NL. He thought he cut the corner on a third strike. He did a quick tap of the hat within 3 seconds. Boop, boop, boop,
I think
boop,
it takes
strike
up
three.
to 13 seconds is what I heard. But, I mean, it feels very quick. And what is really cool about it is that it's very interactive. During the All-Star experience, we all saw, like, oh, it was a strike. Like, it goes right to the screen. You're there. You get to be part of the process at the game and on TV because you're seeing it. And if you could see it, they got to get it right.
There is
plain
a
and simple.
great strategy also involved where do you use these challenges? If it's the first inning and there's 2 outs, no one on, is your guy going to be like, no, tap, tap, tap? Like, you might want to save
It's actually,
these.
the technical term is rap, tap, tappy.
Oh, if you want to do a little rap, tap, tappy, rap, tap, tappy, rap, tap, tappy.
You have to get a little come
on the kick drum.
Come
Little
on the kick drum.
on the kick drum.
And a rap, tap, tappy.
So I think this is great. And
You kidding me? Innovate or die. This is the next step into getting it right and helping the game move along. Some people, like
keeping
Big Mike,
keeping a human layer to this, right?
Mike is like, forget the human layer. And maybe, we're getting to that eventually because
Who?
I'm a fan of the human layer as well.
You know, Big Mike who runs this
But
place?
Mike was like, yo, man,
Never
speed
heard
it
of
up
him.
all the way.
No,
Speed it up.
Big Mike actually said, self-checkout everywhere. I want people to lose their jobs, I believe is a Big Mike
The
said.
rules are simple. ABS challenge rules. Each team gets 2 challenges and can keep them if they're successful. Challenges can only be initiated by a pitcher, catcher, or a batter. No belly itchers, Rich. Pitchers,
Okay,
not
pitchers,
belly
okay.
itchers. And the request must come right after the pitch. To signal a challenge, the pitcher or catcher or batter taps his hat or helmet to the umpire. No help from the dugout, which was weird to me because that's obvious, but with all the ways they communicate from dugout to catcher and everything else, there's no way.
If
How are
everyone's
they gonna
saying,
implement that rule?
challenge,
Right.
then you're going to do it.
How are they going to implement that rule?
Dan Byer, I'm not a man that listens to everything Rob Manfred in baseball says, but I really feel like everything from the pitch clock to the bases to the man on second and extra innings, which I thought I wouldn't like, all these things I feel like have been good for baseball. Are you opposed as a traditionalist or no?
No, I'm not opposed. I do think that we are so focused on the robot aspect of it that I think we need to develop like a character, like a cartoon, like a caricature of like a judge who will then hand down the ruling on if it was a ball or strike. Make that guy a character throughout all 30 ballparks.
What if the local mascot appears? Like it could be Mr. Met or Bernie the Brewer or anyone comes out and they come out with like a green or red flag.
I was thinking like Judge Doubleday, you know, that works like with the history, and then it's this animated feature, and then he comes down and he hits his gavel with a ruling, and it's ball, like that. All 30 stadiums, uniform, yes, something like that, like you're out. I think that would be great.
Out.
We're very focused on the robot, but I think we need to do it like branch out in that way.
So one of the headlines
it's
was the robot era begins or something like that. That's what they're calling it. And I just think that it proves that baseball's headed in the right direction. You get a little compromise of human element, but moving toward the future, getting it right is the priority. Anyone that doesn't like it, I think, is sort of off the mark.
I do. I agree with that. I feel like the NBA, the NFL, other organizations have, for the most part, I feel like the only misstep with a rule change, and we all agreed, was, remember the pass interference challenge? And it was just so subjective. And I think we all agreed, like, all right, it was a good idea, but on any given play, you could be like, well, did he tug his jersey like a tad? Like, we figure these things out as a collective, and I think who's going to argue the game's sped up, game's exciting, baseball attendance is up, viewership is up.
It's interactive.
They got young star players now. Who's going to oppose 2 times a game for 10 seconds? Yo, it was 2-2, bottom of the 6th. Yo, that was outside. Challenge. No, dude, it caught the corner. Strike 3.
Especially in a big moment, right? You want to get it right. Shout out to Dane Cook. You think he listens?
I love Dane. I love the Dane train.
Remember, he say, got punched in the face.
In the face.
In the face. Hey.
Yeah, listen, don't act
Covino
too
and
cool.
Rich.
You listened to Dane Cook's comedy on a CD back in the day?
Oh, me and Rich bonded over that hard in the early 2000s.
Yeah, Dane Cook was all the rage back then.
Speaking of, this is Hit Between the Eyes Scorpions, if you're listening live. Iowa Sam on the ones and twos, DJ Sammy Sweetheart. But if you're listening to the podcast, you might not be hearing the music, but I'm glad you're listening. Follow, rate, and review Covino and Rich wherever you stream your podcasts. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, the LG X Boom Grab is the portable speaker that powers your hustle. From morning coffee runs to midnight rooftop hangs, enjoy vibrant sound with up to 20 hours of playback, and now save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25, F-A-L-L. Bring the boom, X Boom, and let's have a great fall like Humpty Dumpty. Covino and Rich.
Number 5.
I'm on a roll, dude. I'm on a roll.
Let's go to the phones are all lit, so let's go rapid fire. Times you got hit in the face, because this David Fry clip is something, man. Just to watch him.
Can we just say, like, can we spin it and say this is our way of celebrating the recovery of David Fry? Because what we saw was scary, but he's okay.
I think what adds to the scary is, a lot of times, I'll give you the analogy. You know when your kid falls, sometimes you reacting is the worst thing because then they get scared. Like if you're like, oh my God, you okay? Then
they don't cry until you react.
Yeah, so sometimes if you keep your calm, like, you okay there, buddy?
Or if they're on the edge, you can cause them to fall by overreacting to what they're doing.
Of course,
you scare them.
Like, what are you doing up there? I think by Scooble, like dropping his glove and hat and being like, oh, heavens to Betsy, like, and really reacting, it made, to me, it feel worse.
Everyone's reaction was really intense.
I love Scooble's emotions, and he reached out and seems like a really good dude, but his reaction to me made it even scarier.
We were playing some street football in our cul-de-sac, and my 4-year-old son fell on his knee wearing shorts. And in my head, I was like, ooh, that hurt. And he teetered. Do you cry? Do you not cry? And I played it cool. And he didn't cry. He's like, I'm fine. I'm like, you know what? Let's do halftime. Let's go inside. He's like, nope. Let's play.
Winning dad move, Dan Byer. Winning dad move.
Because if you would have reacted, he probably would have cried.
Rub some dirt on it. You're all right.
Yeah, you know what? Since I talk a lot about coaching because I'm the number one coach on Fox Sports Radio.
When did that start?
I do this with the kids, my daughter's team and my son's team. And if you got kids, you don't need to be a coach. But I always say, and someone taught me this, I always say, are you injured or scared? Because when a kid's like crying, is it like,
you stole that from me because I always say, are you hungry or just bored?
Yeah, I stole it from you.
Every time I go to the pantry, I ask myself that.
Am I hungry or am I bored? That's a good one. But a lot of times you'll see a kid crying, and I'm like, are you? Hey, buddy, you scared? Are you okay? Did you get shaken up, or are you injured? Because I think 99% of the time when a kid cries, they're not injured. They're just scared. Like, hey, you get hit by a ball, you fell, and you get startled, and every coach is like, yo, you okay, little Jackson? The kid's scared. He's not hurt. So, are you scared or are you injured?
It was a weird sequence of events. Schoolboy making weird plays, had no control. Fry squares up. Schoolboy hits him in the face. 99.6 mile per hour fastball. As Rich said, Schoolboy very animated and regretful about what happened. And he said the right things, too. He said something along the lines of, they lost the game, but some things are bigger than the game, and David Fry's health was the priority last night. And he's okay. He's got fractures. So we're taking your phone calls now about those scary moments where you hit somebody in the face, or maybe you were hit in the face, because you never forget it. That's really the thing. You never forget it.
Let's go to Trip in Vegas. What's up, Trip?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's up, buddy?
You'll love this. I got plenty of fight stories from the military, but I got one when I was a kid. So I'm playing Pony League, and they bring me in from center field because the pitcher gets hurt. And they're like, you got a big arm, you can come pitch. I'm like, okay. First kid right-handed, strike out. Next kid, strike out. Next kid's left-handed. I hit him square in the helmet.
Oh.
And I was just devastated.
Those lefties threw you off as a kid.
That's so funny you say that, because when you were a pitcher in Little League or Pony Ball, you got so used to throwing to righties that when there was a lefty, you're like, I don't really need to do anything different, but it feels different.
And, there's a lot of kids that take the mound, and Rich, I'm sure you're experiencing this now as the number one coach, as you brag about all the time.
Yeah.
So many kids take the mound, and they're so scared of actually hitting a kid that they don't throw the way they're capable of.
Yeah.
Because they're so apprehensive and tentative of hitting somebody.
You sound like Dave Roberts' press conference after the game last night.
We're going to get to that.
Let me tell you, I see the girls do that all the time in my daughter's softball. Like, if a girl hits a girl, she will then pitch hesitantly, and they do this thing when a girl gets hit, they all take a knee. I don't know if that's a new thing. Like everyone in the field and dugout, like girl gets hit by a pitcher, instinct like take a knee, and they like don't get up until the girl's like I'm okay.
No, but you know those kids that have a rocket arm, and then all of a sudden they're like throwing darts. They're like because they don't want to hit the kid.
Yeah. Mo,
okay. What up,
in
Mo?
Arizona? What's up, Mo?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
All right. Hey, so I'm up in the 90s, Smith Fontana High School. May have heard about this one, Rich. Soccer players are playing soccer at lunchtime, and I'm over with hanging with the cool guys, and the guy misses the net. Ball comes over probably like 40, 50 yards. Nobody says a word to me. Just watch the ball. And I turn around, smacks him right in the side of the face. Hurt a little bit, but I was more embarrassed and angry.
Yep.
I feel bad for the kid who came and got the ball because he wasn't even the one who kicked it, and I just threw that ball double-fisted right in his face. And I may or may not have started a small riot at the school.
So
You know what? You paint a great picture, and
Yeah.
you remind me of something, too. The embarrassment that's involved if you're alert and awake to tell the story, because I remember playing, it was like a varsity high school game or whatever, and I'm running home, and it was a play at the plate. Catcher has the ball. I'm going down the slide, and the catcher, with all his force, tags me right in the face. Boom! So I get tagged in the face. My head goes back.
And
I
you're
hit
out.
I'm out.
And out.
I'm out and out. And then I got a bloody face all over the place.
Oh.
You know, and you're embarrassed, and you'll never forget it.
No, there is a level of
I was
embarrassment.
tagged and hit so hard in the face.
You know what's embarrassing? Let me take you back to gym class. I was Sam. You ever get hit in the face during dodgeball, like blindside, like boink?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Then the
that's-
ball makes a weird sound, and then you're like, your face might swell up a little bit, and you're just like, what happened?
Yeah, not a good one. Not a good one. All right, let's say hi to Mark in Bakersfield. Hey, Mark.
Hey, thank you, gentlemen. I was playing like 4 nights of softball, fast pitch, slow pitch. One of the leagues we played in was co-league. So I get up. My buddy's already hit 2 home runs. I have 2 home runs, so I'm going to try to hit one to beat him. There's this nice girl playing third base, got her knee pads on, got her ponytail and her sunglasses, playing right at third base. So I swing as hard as I can, and it just hits her. Can't even move. Straight in the face. And I'm like, do I run to first or do I run to go to her? And that was the last time I ever played co-ed softball ever
Dude,
again.
then who would
that's
put, I
horrible.
mean, not to sound sexist, but who would put the, like, maybe inexperienced girl in the hot corner at co-ed softball? That just seems like a dumb move.
Yeah, that's
Or
asking for
or
it.
an evil move by whoever put her there.
Yeah, like, oh, John's girlfriend, we hate her.
That's
Put her
horrible.
at third base.
Yeah, and then you feel terrible about
Yeah.
it.
Man, that is. I hope he ran to third base to check on her. Single.
He took second, man.
He checked on her when he got to third. He rounded second in the
He got
third.
a triple out of
By
it.
the way,
Yeah.
did you see that the other day? Not to be all over the place, but the Mets who are in a wild card race. Luckily, the play was called dead, but the left fielder for the Nationals slid into the wall and injured himself on the play, and it was like bad. Like he was immediately thriving. Like, oh, Cedric Mullins of the Mets, who's been trash for the Mets, stops in between first and second, puts his hands on his helmet like, oh, my God. The ball gets thrown back into the infield. They tag him. And luckily, they're like, after further review, we've called the play dead. I'm like, yo, you still have to play at that level.
Get
at that
to
level,
second.
right?
So the times you were hit in the face, because you'll never forget it. Who else do we got?
Bruno
Two more.
in Brooklyn. Let's we'll take 2 more. What's up, Bruno?
Boys, hey, I got a good one. Pretty scary, but it was pretty crazy. Foursome playing golf. We're out. We got 2 carts. We're out there. One of my buddies is up in a tee box. He's lining it up. I'm talking to one of my other friends. The third part, he's basically off to the side taking some practice cuts or practice swings. The guy I'm talking to has got his back to the guy taking practice swings. He turns around, and this guy swings, and he walks right into it. Hits him right in the forehead, takes him off his feet. I thought we killed the guy. It was
Bro,
insane. We had
do you
to
know-
race him up.
That is the scariest thing. When people are swinging golf clubs or baseball bats
Or
around other people.
Pinata parties.
Or pinata. Oh, dude, you have a little kid's birthday
I'm
party?
not even kidding you. As a kid who always had pinatas at his party, someone was always getting hit in the face, but it was usually a wiffle bat.
Bro, it is always a scary moment. You know how many times I have to tell?
Or dad takes it in the nether region
Yeah,
because the kids
it's
are lined up
always-
right there.
Yep,
You
you're
know-
so right about that.
Do you know how many times I have to say, like, boys, bats down, because these knuckleheads would walk into it. Put on your helmet side. Kevin, wrap it up in Tennessee, then we'll go to DB for an update. What's up, Kev?
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
What's up, man?
Well, I'll tell you, this is kind of a crazy story. About 10 years ago, our best friend's daughter and got married to a guy. They met each other playing softball, and they get married. They go away on their honeymoon. They get back from their honeymoon. They don't even check the presents or anything yet. They go, and he has a game. He goes out. He's a pitcher, throws a pitch, gets hit with the batter hits the ball right in his head. Guy dies.
Oh, dude, that's horrible.
Whoa.
Isn't that terrible?
Yeah,
you guys
horrible.
are my favorite. I hate to give you a story like this.
No, but you know what? It goes to show you how serious last night was and how
Thank
lucky
goodness.
he got and how we could all take a deep breath and say, hey, man, get better, David Fry. I do have one more story, but we got to go to Dan Byer.
Let's go to DB.
DB's got the updates.
Now you go to me. You couldn't tell your story and cushion. I got to follow a death. Yes.
DB.
And the guy died. Let's go to Dan Byer for more.
It's like
Yes.
It's like Casey Kasem with that dead dog dedication.
Jeez.
I'll save mine for later.
Please, Covino, tell the story. Please tell. You know what? I'm going to hold off. Dan, go ahead.
It's all you. And then everyone died. Hey, Dan, what's going on?
All right. David Fry out 6 to 8 weeks. Multiple facial fractures, some minimally displaced. Did have nasal fractures as well, but has been discharged from the hospital, and the team says is home resting comfortably. But yeah, scary situation with David Fry, who won't play again this season. Brewers are up on the Padres 1-0 playing in the fifth inning in San Diego. Padres still having hopes of winning the NL West, starting the day a game and a half back of the Dodgers. Nationals beat the Braves 4-3, but the real story is the Nats have a new GM. Multiple reports say they're naming Red Sox assistant GM Paul Taboni as their new general manager. In the NFL, 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy limited in practice. Wide receivers Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings sat out workouts today, as did Commanders wide receiver Terry McLaurin. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels practiced on a limited basis. That was the plan, according to head coach Dan Quinn. The plan for the Giants is to go with Jackson Dart. The first-round pick will start Week 4 against the Chargers. Russell Wilson will serve as the backup. Speaking of the Chargers, they placed running back Najee Harris on injured reserve with that Achilles injury. The Eagles placed linebacker Nolan Smith on IR with a triceps injury. Fox broadcaster and Raiders Limited partner Tom Brady said there is no conflict of interest between his two positions, making the comments in his weekly newsletter. Finally, guys, Sister Jean, the chaplain and mentor for the Loyola of Chicago men's basketball team, retiring at the age of 106. She was a fixture during the Ramblers Final Four run a few years back.
Any headline about someone at 106 other than their sad passing is remarkable.
Right.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, no.
See, I throw it back to you guys with positive news.
Thank you, DB.
Yes, you're welcome.
Now, Covino, you're getting hit in the face story. Thanks, Dan Byer.
Thanks, guys.
You know what? I got to tease this one because it was scary, but we'll wrap it up, and then we'll play some games. We got Big Mike's Words of Wisdom and
talk
Midweek
about
Major.
We're going to talk about celebrating. We're going to talk about baseball playoffs and NFL Week 4. My goodness, so much fun coming up. Thanks for hanging. Covino and Rich, more next.
Micah Parsons in the news because, well, he's heading back to Dallas.
Now, this is wild. Just as the schedule gods have probably high-fived each other, Sunday Night Football, Week 4 of the NFL, takes us to Dallas, Texas for Packers, Cowboys, and, of course, Sunday night primetime game of the week, the most viewed game on the NFL schedule every week. Sunday night is where it's at. 2 turntables and a microphone, and Sunday Night Football, where it's at. And there's talk of, should Micah Parsons get a video tribute in Dallas. And Jerry Jones has already said, like, not going to happen. Not today. No, this will not go down.
It's a lot of extra work for the media guy, too. For 4 seasons with the Cowboys, does it matter how the time was spent? Like, he was a dominant force with the Cowboys. Fans loved him. Are you doing it for the fans? You know, there's so many ways to look at this.
Let me explain. I'll give you a great...
Remember how he badmouthed Jerry Jones? That's a big part of it.
A great analogy. When you date someone,
okay,
when enough time passes, you could look back and be like, you know what? We just weren't meant for each other. She's a great woman. I think I'm a pretty good guy. We were just not meant to be married. It is what it is. But you know what? We have great memories.
Married.
Good times. Fantastic. Or when a player leaves a team via a trade or, hey, listen, we're rebuilding. We got to unload our stars in free agency or the trade deadline. Recently, you know, the Mets, what was the big rah-rah 2024 Mets thing? Remember, oh, my God, Julio Iglesias. It's Jose Iglesias.
I was going to say Julio.
I love to say Julio. Jose Iglesias. With, oh, my God, that whole rage. He came back to Citi Field. He was only in the Mets for a year, but his vibe was awesome. He didn't burn the Mets. So they did a little, oh, my God, hey, thanks for last year. Thumbs up, little montage on the screen.
Yeah, he did nothing wrong. He brought a lot. He had a nice run. He was a fan favorite. I think that matters. How did you exit matters.
It all matters.
I think it matters. Did you start your career there? Like, are you a lifelong kind of guy? I think that helps in the argument. Like, the Glaber of love. Glaber Torres just came back to Yankee Stadium as a Tiger, and he got his ovation and everything else. Again, a guy that started his early rookie career with the farm system and the New York Yankees.
Who recently came back to the Dodgers and they threw a Dodgers hat on him and started hugging him? World Series champion last year.
But we are a little
I know
montage. But a guy that won with the team?
I know I'm putting you on the spot, Danny, but it was
Those things matter too.
Someone that got their ring. Could he be on the Reds maybe? Someone came back to Dodger Stadium and they threw a
Bueller, maybe?
No. They threw a hat on him. And
Jock Peterson?
No, it wasn't Jock.
No, it was to give him his World Series ring.
I would have noticed that tub of goo.
Gavin Lux.
Yeah, it was Gavin Lux.
Yeah,
Gavin Lux came back. They threw a Dodgers hat on him for like 20 seconds. He reluctantly was like, fans were... No one wanted to see Gavin Lux
go. But that's
go.
another reason to celebrate. He had a championship run. He was part of that team. You know, all these things are factors, but does everyone get a montage?
Dude,
I feel we're montage crazy.
Enough time
had
had passed where the Mets felt it was okay to give Jacob deGrom a little video montage a couple weeks ago. But
you see this in the NBA all the time.
Bro, you do, but let me tell you, what do they say? The paint hasn't dried? What is the saying? The blood has whatever it is.
The ink, something about the ink.
The ink, fool me once. Jerry Jones, we're talking like weeks ago, this guy told Jerry Jones to kiss his ass essentially and force this, and Jerry Jones is not pleased with Micah Parsons, as he liked to call him. So if you think Jerry Jones should give this guy a tribute, he should tell Micah Parsons to I can't even say what I think.
Micah should tell him that too. He didn't want to work with Micah's agent.
Go kick rocks. Go pound
sand. Go kick rocks.
They're both in. They both have fault in this.
But you think
I agree? It's one of those too soon sort of
like
things.
If this happened a year from now, without a doubt. But it would be like your girlfriend dumped you for the mailman. And then your bro hugging the mailman, like, hey, man, all good.
I almost feel, though, like, Rich, in sports, this has become, as soon as they come back for the first time, we acknowledge them. A year out, it's too far removed.
This is too much too soon. And also, what did you win over the last couple of years?
And by the way, it's 4 years, like, worthy. I get he's a star player.
No, they drafted him.
But to me, that's like, I feel like you got to have a standard, or else, again, are you giving the media guy a bonus?
4 years.
Because I think like it has to be you won with the team, or there's a 5 year. I think there's like, hey, did he play more than 5 years? Did he win? All right, Covino and Rich, thank you for hanging with us. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Hope you're having a great day. And it's time for our Tire Rack play of the day.
I'm going to debate this. We're going to go with Scooble and the Tigers caught off guard by the Guardians. Their final play, the final call. Take a listen.
Cleveland will not only move into a tie for first, but they'll own the season series and the tiebreaker. Here's the pitch. Swung on line to third. Caught by Ramirez. Ball game. The Guardians take over the Central Division lead. They beat the Detroit Tigers 5-2.
All right, that is pretty cool. The Guardians taking over. When at one point of the season, the Tigers had a 15.5 game lead. So
I just wanted to give them love because I knew we would cover the Mets and the Yankees in regular programming.
That is true.
Fair enough.
That is true.
That's courtesy of Cleveland Clinic Guardians Radio Network, and that's our Tire Rack play of the day. For over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. Tire Rack. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
All right, well, we will talk a little more wild card and playoff baseball where we got 5 games left, which is giving me anxiety to the highest level. Like yesterday, Mets are losing 6-1. I'm at my kid's baseball practice. I put down my phone. I pick it up. Nimmo's hitting a home run to tie it. A wild day. Your Dodgers, Danny G, I want to talk about this later. They couldn't do me any favors. What is Dave Robertson, your bullpen, doing? Beat the damn D-backs.
They've been doing what they've been doing all season, where it's the reverse of last season. Last season, the bullpen basically won that World Series. This year, they have starting pitching and no bullpen.
Shohei threw a gem, and I'm like, 4-0.
Yeah.
Dodgers are going to win. Perfect. And I'm like, no, not so fast.
We're going to have back-to-back starters go in these games because as soon as the Dodgers go to the pen, the other team's licking their chops.
Oh, so that went down. We'll talk a little Yankees clinching. But you said you had your final hit-in-the-face story.
One last story.
Yeah,
it's worth telling. You know, this is in honor of David Fry's speedy recovery. He's okay.
You're not talking about that time with that girl motorboated you in Vegas, right?
No,
when you were hit in the face?
That's
Okay.
a great story.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, this is a terrible story, but with a happy ending. No, not that kind.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So I graduated with this kid. I'll give him a shout out. E.J. Collins. Eddie Collins was drafted by the Brewers, right? And he was at my house. Kid threw heat, dude. 90s. We're in high school. So he's like 16, 17 years old. We're on our front lawn. So that's all part of the story. On the front lawn, and we're just practicing throwing heaters.
Forget about the curveball,
One
COVINO.
of my buddies squatting right in front of a little fence, like a little wooden fence in the front yard that separates the front yard to the backyard. So you got one friend just squatting in front of the fence,
Yeah.
and then me and my buddy Eddie were just throwing heaters, right? Just some practice.
Yeah. Who'd you get? What sucker did you get to catch for you guys?
Yeah, just one of our buddies, right? EJ gets in full windup. Again, this is a big kid, high school 6'3", heat.
Yeah.
Cheese. Full windup, throws one, and it goes sizzling over the little fence. And all of a sudden you hear, pop! And I see the ball, like, go in a different direction. And we look over the fence, and my little sister is completely knocked out.
Oh, my God.
Not even joking you.
goodness.
My little sister, Dawn. Dude,
She's never been the same.
Yo, we thought we killed her, dude. And then immediately, this is why it's so scary. Immediately, she was like 5 maybe. Immediately had like a cartoon. Boop. She had a big lump in her head. You saw the veins in her head. Like, oh my God. And then you had to go get my parents. You know how frightening that was, dude? Horrible. Turns out Dawn's a great person. She has kids and she's doing well. But man, getting hit in the face. The point is,
She does have CTE. Also.
yeah,
She still has a huge lump on her head.
She's still got this weird Frankenstein scar on her head. But the point is, you never, ever forget it.
Wow.
And, you know, she's alive to tell the story. But, man, that was scary, dude.
David Fry last night. Thank goodness he's all good. And you know what? Baseball, we've been saying it all year. It's popping. And right now, you have 2 teams that are 1 game behind the Mets in the wild card race. And both of those teams own the tiebreaker over the Mets. So when I tell you the Mets are clinging to a 1-game lead, it's not like, oh, if they tie it up, who has the tiebreaker? No. There is 0 margin of error for the Mets. And today, Danny G, all I'm rooting for is your Dodgers to beat the D-backs, and the Reds have to face Paul Skeens today. So, and the Mets are in Wrigley. So that NL wild card is getting freaking awesome. So we got more COVINO Rich. We'll do some baseball and football coming up.